time already. Now, good evening, everybody. I'm maybe showing my face. Good evening, everybody. So perhaps you've seen this face before now. The coordinator of Crack Jam with Delzy. So as you can see on our screen, we have the Jam strategy for scoring 300 plus. How smart students beat Jam using strategy. Now, this class, I call it a workshop, while some other persons call it a training. So whichever of them you would like to call it, it's fine. But basically, the sole aim of this class is to actually, show us how you can outsmart Jam. Now, just in case you're writing Jam for the very first time, you don't really understand the complexity of how Jam looks like. Let me just give you a rundown. Now, every single year we have thousands of persons writing the same examination and looking out for a little slot. Okay, in a year we have up to 1 million Nigerian students that registers for Jam, and guess what? Just about 150,000 students are admitted. Out of 1 million, and then you admit 150,000. That leaves us with deficit of 850,000 students. So how do you actually manage to be among those 150,000 that will be admitted? That is basically what I want to lay the foundation here for us today, because foundation is very, very important. Okay, so let's, without wasting so much time, let's proceed. Now, who is this webinar for? Now, this particular training, who is this particular training for? All right, so we have Jam candidates, which I believe majority of us are. If you're targeting to score 260 and above, 260 to 300 and above, right? Students that are tired of reading without results. Now, let me tell you something. If you're doing a particular stuff over and over again without getting results, eventually you'll be worn out, you'll be tired. Okay, eventually you're going to be tired and you're going to be worn out. And in that case, you lose motivation. So this class is for you. Now, also we have people that want direction. Now, let me tell you something. If you're reading with direction, it helps reduce the stress. Okay? Now, direction is one of the major, fuel that helps people to actually smash their Jam. Because if you're being told that if you do this, this is what you're going to get, apparently you're definitely going to focus. If there is one thing down that they say, if you want to have money in this life, just do this thing and you'll be rich overnight. A lot of persons will not miss out. Now, the next one is parents that want, serious, that want their kids to be very, very serious. So if you're a parent and you're in this webinar, you're very most welcome. I congratulate you for wanting the best for your child. Now, let me quickly introduce myself, okay? Because I'm going to be taking majorly most of the courses, the science courses, and I have tutors. I'll be taking the arts courses. My name is David Delzy, as they popularly know me as Delzy. I'm exam strategy coach, a tutor, and a founder of Delzy Scholars. Currently, I work in the University of Port Harcourt as a teaching assistant. I assist lecturers to teach. I assist lecturers. Okay, so it simply means that I have the experience of teaching and how questions are being set. Because one of the major things I would like to tell us today is understanding how questions are being set. I have supervised post-CTME examinations, and I know how questions are being set, which is an advantage to many of you that are in this live session. I have got under me 7 years plus of teaching Jam, WAEC, and university students. So like I said, I currently work in the university, so I lecture, I teach students that are in 100 level, medicine, nursing, engineering. I teach chemistry currently in the University of Port Harcourt. Okay, I also teach WAEC students. I own 2 Jam centers currently in Port Harcourt, physical centers. Okay, I also teach WAEC. Now, specialist in CBT exams. Most persons don't really know how CBT exams work. right? CBT exams is computer-based test examination. Now, the reason why I said I'm a specialist here is because I've seen a case where people, you know, miss out on their, exams because the system either went off or you did not know what to press. Your calculator and all what you need for your jam to be successful is actually in your screen. So if one wrong tap, if you actually tap the wrong button, it could take you back to square one. Okay? And past question mastery. Now, let me talk about this a bit. Now, I see a lot of students coming to meet me and say, please, I need past question for Jamb. Right? The one I bought, I used to tell my student, well, if you're buying past questions, just know that what you're buying is selected questions by people. It's not really a Jamb past questions. Over the past years, Jamb examination has been computer-based, which simply means questions are in form of a question bank. Like chemistry could be like 500 questions stored in the system. Now, the system shuffles the question. That is why you will hardly see, two set of persons writing the same question. No, you could see people coming out of the exams, or then other persons outside will run to them and say, how was the exams? What nature of questions were asked? For me, I feel it's okay, for you to satisfy your curiosity, but to me, it's a waste of time, because if you really understand how JAM works, there is the probability of repeating question is very slim. Why? Because JAM deals with question banks. I'm going to be talking about question bank in detail. All right. Now, I have actually been able to help a lot of average students into top scorers. People that when they got admission into the university, they did not know their left from right. And this exact strategy I'm going to be sharing with us helped them, all right, move from average to, excellent students. I don't just teach subjects. I guide students. I mentor students, all right? So let's proceed. Now, if you look at your screen, that is me teaching 100 level students, all right? That is me now teaching 100 level students in the university, okay? Now we have about 600 students in this hall. So when I talk about understanding the strategy, I'm a teacher, and not just a teacher. I lecture in the university. I have taught in a secondary school, and I own a JAM center. So if there is anybody that can guide you properly, I think I'm actually the one, okay? And not just that, I have also helped in conducting post-UTME examinations, right? Post-UTME is aptitude test. After your JAM, most universities organize post-UTME, so they use the same concept of JAM. So just in case you're wondering, this person that is trying to guide us, does he have the knowledge to guide us properly? Yes, I do have the knowledge to even guide you more than you could imagine. All right. Now, this is the real deal breaker. Why do most students fail in JAM? Now, if you have written JAM before, okay, probably you've written JAM once, written JAM twice. Could you please, drop on the comments, if you're following me, what scares you the most? Why is it that for people that have written JAM before, right, they're always more stressed, they are always panicking? I'll tell you. Now, why do most students fail JAM? Number one, they read without syllabus focus. Now, syllabus, it's more like an outline. Okay, this is what JAM is telling you to focus on. Now, when I see some students, you go to, JAM centers, you see people teaching students without giving them the syllabus. Yes, you can be very good in chemistry, but if you're not following instruction, to me, you're wasting your time. Okay, so JAM have already told us, in this topic, this and this is what you're going to cover. Like, just stick to this. At the end of the day, if you're able to read this, you should be able to answer this. But guess what? Students do not pay attention to that. If you have been reading without syllabus before, now just know that you're setting yourself up, for failure, which I pray against it. Okay? Now, let me give you an example. There are Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that Coca-Cola products retain the same taste year in, year out? If you drink Coke today, the Coke you're drinking today is going to have the same taste as the Coke you're going to drink next tomorrow, next year, in Lagos, in Ibadan, in Abuja. Any part of the world you taste Coke, it is still the same. Why? There's what they call recipe, right? Recipe simply means put this in the right amount, do this, you get the exact product. So what Jamb is telling us is that if you do this and you do this, you're going to get this. So one of the reasons why students fail Jamb is because they read without syllabus. And one of the purpose of this class is to actually put you in the right direction. The same way we have recipe for Coke, right? That if you drink Coke in Port Harcourt, if you drink Coke in Lagos, it is the same taste. So we're going to be giving you guys a recipe of people that have smashed Jamb, right? We actually gave them the recipe. They smashed the Jamb. We tried it again. It worked. So basically, we're going to be sharing it with you. Just, stay with us to the end of this class. Number 2 reason is misuse of past question paper. A lot of persons, misuse past question. Let me explain something. They said past questions. If you have any question, please drop it on the comments. Just describe your question, what you want me to answer, I will answer it. I can see Mustafa is good at thank you. That's okay. Testimony, well done too. Now, let me explain what I mean by misuse of past question. I've seen a lot of students studying past question, like you carry past question and sit in front of you, and you're reading past question, practicing past question without making reference to the textbook. Class, past question is supposed to come in after you have first of all read the main text. This is the best way to use past question. First, glance to the past questions. If you glance to the past questions, you're definitely going to see areas that you cannot answer the questions. Of course, if you're a physics student, you're good in physics. If you open your past questions, there are some questions you'll be able to answer. Okay? Now, run through the past questions, glance through the past questions, and then come back to your textbook, read your textbook, go back to your past question. Anyways, all of that, we're going to be giving to you guys. So I'm just trying to explain why most students fail Jamb. They waste time on low-yield topics. Now, there are topics in Jamb that, if you look at your past question, these are things many people are not aware of. There are topics in Jamb that are sure, I call them sure banker. Like every single year, they must be asked. And maybe you've not really noted it, but as somebody that have taught Jamb for 7 years, and as somebody that have written Jamb 3 times, if you look at the experience, it's more like 10 years. I wrote Jamb 3 times, and I've taught Jamb for 7 years. So that is 10 years experience. So it simply means that I have actually, noted down questions that have been repeatedly set in Jamb. Now, these are the knowledge that you get from experience. And I don't really want you guys to experience that, but instead, I want you to learn from my own experience. Like I said, I wrote Jamb 3 times, and I've taught Jamb for 7 years. So if you add it up, that is 10 years of experience. It means that there are some topics that are, you're not supposed to spend your precious time on. But a lot of students do not know that. They waste their time on those things. Now, the next reason why students fail Jamb is panicking during CBT exams. You panic. Anyways, it's normal, Panicking has to do with expectations, especially if writing Jamb is your 2nd time or your 3rd time. You're definitely going to be more panicked than somebody that's writing it for the very first time. Okay, so most times when you panic inside exam hall, you cannot really help it out. The highest you can do is to try to calm yourself down. But I'm going to be training you guys on how to overcome that. That is why I said a lot of students do not know all of this. They think, passing Jamb has to do with just reading your book. Nope. How do you actually manage pressure? Now, whenever expectations are high, there is pressure. If your father should come to them and say, my son, you're going to represent our family in so and so competition. Why? Because anytime we are watching film in their house, you're always good at illustrating the scene to your siblings. You do it in your house freely, but the moment you're being placed on a stage to do that same thing you used to do in your own father's house, you become tensed. You start panicking. Why? Why? This is the same thing that you can freely do in your own father's house, right? Like I already said, your father noticed that anytime you're watching movies with your siblings, right, you're good at explaining the scene, the movie to your younger ones or your senior ones. And maybe a competition comes up. We need somebody that can, explain movie to people. But you're going to be recorded and there is a prize to be won. The winner goes home with $50,000. The loser goes on with nothing. The same you that used to do this thing freely at home will now become tensed. Your mouth starts shaking. Your fingers start, moving. Why? That is panic. You cannot really blame yourself. It's because expectation is high. And that same expectation is what a lot of students experience during Jamb. So whenever you're writing Jamb, the fear of not, passing it makes you to panic. The fear of coming back in another 12 months. Because if you fail Jamb, that is 12 months. You have to wait for 12 months. Years is counting. Your years is increasing. And most of the times, most of the jobs application has age limit. Have you seen it? That is why when I see people joking with the academics, I used to laugh. Most of the high-paying jobs in Nigeria has age limits, right? You're not supposed to exceed 23. You're not supposed to exceed a particular age. Unfortunately, some persons have already crossed that age, but there is no problem, right? You cannot turn back the hands of time. But those that have not crossed it, those that are joking with their first attempt, is those that I'm talking to right now. For those that have written Jamb before, right? I'm coming to you. But let me talk to those that this Jamb would be their first attempt. Now, let me tell you this, right? If you miss your first Jamb, you have to wait 1 more year at home. Now, 1 more year can actually save you a lot of stress. Most of the jobs, most of the companies, right? They look at 2 things. Age limit. There is age. So if I were you, I would take my first, your best chance, your very best chance is your first attempt. Oh, I don't know how to expatiate this enough. I wrote Jamb 3 times. I know what my eyes saw, right? It was God that helped me. Yes, I'm supposed to be, but the fear of going back again, that trauma keep traumatizing me. But if you're writing Jamb for the very first time, there is no trauma. And please, I beg you, make sure you do everything it takes, right, to write Jamb just once. Anyways, I'm here to guide you properly. For those that have written Jamb the second, the third, the fourth, it would be so unwise for you to gamble this chance again. Like, imagine gambling this 2026 Jamb. Oh, let me read by myself. Let me do it. You've done it the first time. You did not see. Maybe you saw result, but it was not enough. You did it the second time, and you still want to do it again. It doesn't work that way. Okay? So Jamb punishes poor strategy, not low intelligence. That is why most of the times you see people that are not really very intelligent, they will get admission because they follow a particular strategy. See, most times, let me tell you guys a very simple secret. People that are very, very intelligent somehow always struggle. Like, they always struggle when it comes to a lot of things because they overthink it. They overthink. But people that are not very, very smart, they just do it. Okay? So let's proceed. Now, the truth about Jamb scores, whenever people say 300 plus, a lot of person will say it's too big, it's too big. Now, let me tell you something. You're writing Jamb. Jamb has, 4 subjects, English. If you're doing science, let's say biological science, medicine, you write biology, write physics, write chemistry. If you're doing engineering, you replace math with biology. For those of us in law, you write literature in English, English government, and any other social science course. Let me tell you something. Most of the times, break down. One of the strategies I would like to give us today is make sure you break down expectations. If somebody should say, at the end of this year, I want you to raise 50 million naira. If you place your focus on that 15 million naira, you may not raise that money because you might feel it is too big. Oh, 50 million, you might feel it is too big. But this is what you're going to do. Divide the 50 million into 12 months. Right? Let's do some calculation. Just 1 minute. I want to show you guys something, how you can reduce the pressure. So let's do the calculation together. Imagine you're being told to raise 50 million. Now you can go back home and say, oh, 50 million is too much. But the first thing you're going to do, divide it by 12. If you divide it by 12, you're definitely needing 4 million per month. Now divide that 4 million by 4. You need to raise 1 million per week. Divide it by 7. So in a day, you're looking at 100 and something thousand. Now, so your plan should be, I should be raising like 120, 130,000 per day. Forget about the final amount. Now, let's bring it back to Jamb. On no account should you pressure yourself that you want to score 300 and above. No? How do you do it? Just focus on making sure that at least you score 30 over 14 exams or for each subject. Right? Remove your eye from the final score, because if you put your eye on the final score, class is definitely going to knock you off. So 300 simply means scoring at least, scoring 20 to 25 to 30 correct questions. If you score 25 to 30 correct questions across all your 4 subjects, you're going to be smiling back home. So try as much as you can to address this course by course. If you're reading a particular topic, okay, let's leave that one. I'll move down to topic. So what I'm trying to say is that for you to actually smash your Jamb class, please do not put the pressure of scoring 300 on your head. That pressure alone can shrink you, right? Just free your mind. Like, class, free your mind. Just free your mind. Forget about the final score. Focus on the day-to-day achievement. Make sure that at the end of the day, before I sleep, this is what I have achieved. I'll personally give you a timetable that you will follow. Every single day, you have to tick. What did I do today? You tick it. Believe you me, if you follow what I'm going to give to you after this class, it's going to be a matter of time, and then you smash your Jamb. Like I said, forget about the final score of 300. Nope. Focus more of what you have achieved in a day, right? You actually do, let's say in a day you're reading chemistry, you cover this, you cover that, go to past question, solve, close that for the day. You have achieved that. If you do that in 1 month, the way your confidence is going to increase. Class, your confidence is going to increase. The same way a rich man confidence increases as his money increases, right? As a student, your confidence is going to increase when you have noticed that you have made progress with your reading and with your understanding. See, there's this popular, all of us, we are Nigerians, there's this popular saying that says, money breeds confidence. If you have money, you become so confident, right? You're not panicking. They say they want to pay for this, you're not shaking, right? So that is the same way as a Jamb student. What breeds your confidence is not the way, is not the reading, is a pattern of reading that will hold the knowledge in your head. There are people that will read 10 pages today. Tomorrow you ask them what they have read, they cannot remember. The worst part of it is that Jamb has a lot of topics. Imagine you read topic 1 and then you did not use the right strategy to stick the topic 1 in your head. Before you get to topic 7, you have forgotten topic 1. You now be running around circle. You read chapter 1. Before you get to chapter 5, you have forgotten chapter 1. No, that is suffering now. How do you retain what you have read in your head? Is what me now. I'm going to be taking your hands and guiding you. Do this, do this. In 1 week time, right? You'll come back and tell me the results. Jamb is not a one topic, exams. If it was a one topic exams, there'll be no stress. But let's say, for example, physics has more than 30 topics. 30 physics. Imagine reading topic 2. Let's say chapter 2. And then you get to chapter 25 and you have forgotten about what you have read in chapter 2. Oh, that doesn't make sense, right? Imagine you're making money, right? Once you get to 100,000, you lose your 2,000. You come back, you go back to square one. All right. So that when we talk about strategy, one of the strategies we are talking about is number 1, we're going to be giving you direction to read. Your main aim should not be on the score. Your main aim should be your day-to-day activity. What were you able to do today? What were you able to do tomorrow? What you're going to be doing next tomorrow? When you compile all of them together, it builds your confidence, right? You notice that where you were 10 days ago is not where you are now, right? It makes you believe that, oh, if I continue like this, oh, I'm going to actually score 300. Imagine somebody that is doing business and every day the person is making 200,000, the person is making 300,000. The person knows that if I continue this way, oh, I'm going to build house at the end of the year. That is what we call confidence. But imagine that person now saying, oh, today I make 200,000 and I need to raise 50 million. How will I do it? God, though, you start panicking. So rule number 1, forget about the final score. Focus on the day-to-day activity. What did I read today? What did I achieve today? Was I able to complete I'm going to be giving us daily task. I'll be giving us daily task, right? Daily task. So at the end of the day, I will ask us to come back. Were you able to do this? Right? You have to do it because you want to pass your Jamb. Okay? It makes reading interesting. We create a group for ourselves. Every single morning, you report. In the evening before you go to bed, you report. Class, I can assure you that if you do it for 10 days, your confidence will increase. It's not a rocket science. It is a strategy. Okay? Jamb is very predictable. The same topic, they have been setting it for the past 20 years, or 30 years, or 40 years. All you just have to do is to understand how it is being set. It is human being. The only problem we're going to be having now is that no two persons will be writing one exams because the computer will be shuffling the questions. For example, chemistry, I know that University of Port Harcourt post-UTME, their chemistry question is 500. The computer shuffles it and brings out 40 for each student. And once you submit, it takes the question, shuffle it again, and bring out another 40 for another student. So there is likely not going to be a possibility of question, interchanging. Now, how does Jamb really work? Right? Jamb is not just a test of knowledge. Jamb is a test of speed, accuracy, patterns, and exam temperaments. I believe you understand what speed means. We understand what accuracy is, but let me tell us accuracy. Right? In scientific definition, accuracy is the closeness of a measured value to a true value. How close is what you're being asked to what you're being given? Basically, accuracy. If an answer is 15 and there is 15.5 in the option, and you go and pick 15.5, you're not correct. The answer is 15. So accuracy has to do with your knowledge. Speed has to do with your confidence. Pattern has to do with your confidence, because if you have been practicing your past questions after reading a particular topic, you practice your past questions, you can actually see patterns. The one I want to talk about more is exam temperament. Now, many of us, we have this bad habit of you must answer questions serially. Very, very, ancient mentality. You must do number one, you do number two, you do number three, you do number four. Now, let me tell you that hard questions are always at the beginning part. Yes. Most of the hardest questions are always at the beginning part. It's not 100% sure accurate, but majority of times, hard questions are always at the beginning part. So if you solve question number one, you're unable to get the answer, please move on to number two. If you don't get the answer, keep moving on. Do you know why? Eventually, you're going to see the one that you're able to answer. And once you're able to answer it, it unlocks your confidence and it unlocks your brain. That same question number one you could not answer, right? You now come back to answer it. Okay. The 4 pillars of smashing Jamb is number one, you have to master the syllabus. Number two, you have to know how to use your past question. Number three, we have to test it for speed and accuracy. And number 4, exam hall mastery. Let me tell you how we adopted this and form a strategy. You see that number 1, syllabus mastery? Like I said, I'll create a task for us every single day. In the morning, once you wake up, I'll give you a task. If I'm going to be teaching you guys, let's say in chemistry, I want to teach organic chemistry in your Jamb syllabus, I'll give you a task, which is, this is what we are supposed to actually know under this topic. So if I'm done teaching you and you cannot still know that means I did not teach you well. You will tell me, sir, when the tasks you gave to us, one of them is that I must be able to answer question under this, but you did not teach us this. I'll now say, okay, sorry, I'll repeat it again. In the evening, after the class, I'll give you exercise questions to try, which will be gotten from the past question, which is number 2. Okay? I give you a task, day-to-day task. And, I'm breaking it down little by little so that it will not be so much for you. The reason why a lot of students lose confidence is that you try to do everything at the same time. Don't worry, I will post this. I will give you guys the syllabus. You try to do everything at the same time. It doesn't work that way now. It does not work that way. All right? So number 1, every single day I'll give us a task. After teaching you in the night, I'll give you questions. And then we'll go back to our syllabus and tick. Oh, today, Monday, I was able to do topic 1. Was I able to answer questions on that topic 1? Yes, you tick it. Topic 1 done and dusted. At the end of the week, before we move over to the new week, we're going to have a mock test. That mock test is to see if you can remember what we did within the week. Class, the one going to do that test is going to be in such a way that, right, if you're able to pass the test, which I believe you're going to pass it, what you have learned that week will get stuck to your head. So that as you're moving to a new week, right, we set a new target for that week. Every week, we set a target. All right? Now, during the weekends, I'll give you a test to test for your speed and your accuracy. That is where the training comes in. Practice make perfect, right? I'll subject you in the same environment as Jamb CBT. We're going to be writing the exam via CBT, right? Now, I'll time you. and I'll give you I'll actually put some kind of a punishment. If you pass, there's a prize for you. If you don't pass, of course there will be a punishment. That punishment is not going to be a high punishment, just going to be a light one. Why? I'm just trying to prepare your mind, right? So every weekend when we write the test, that test is going to be timed, right? We want to check your speed. I want to check how accurate your answer would be when you're asked to increase your pace. There are people that if you ask them to talk small, right, they will be able to, they will not miss words. They will speak very well. They pronounce everything well. But if you tell them to speak faster, they start stammering. That is exactly what happens to your brain. If I ask you a question and say, everybody, what is chemistry? Take your time. Okay, chemistry is the branch of science that deals with carbon and blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, what is chemistry? 60 seconds. Somebody say, excuse me, chemistry is a branch of science. That is how the brain works. That is how the brain works. But imagine you have practiced that stuff under high pressure and speed. Maybe you've been practicing it. You know fully well that I'm going to somewhere that they will ask me what is chemistry and they will ask me to speak fast. And you start practicing it. Chemistry, you make the first mistake, you correct it. Make the second mistake, you correct it. Make the third mistake, you correct it. When you now get to where you're going to be tested, people will now think that, oh, this guy is very good, but nobody will see, right, the stress. Nobody will see the sacrifice. Nobody will see the work that you put in to get to where you are today. So speed and accuracy work hand in hand. Some persons, right, without speed, without pressure, they take time. But let me tell you something in life. If you take away speed from your life becomes boring. What you could have achieved in a shorter time will take you longer time to achieve. That is why if I see people that are always moving fast, like people that are always very, anything they are doing in life, they're always fast. I used to love them. I'll give you an example. I see somebody that is always, you do fast now, do fast, let's leave this place. Some person will say, oh, this guy is every time, this person is always doing as if, no. That is a man on a mission. The major reason why most people are still poor today is not because they do not know what to do to be rich. Not because they cannot learn something, but they still think that, oh, there is tomorrow, no problem, tomorrow I'll do it. And there is still time. Time today will pass. Like Monday, from morning till night, you will not do anything. You say there is time. Next tomorrow, you say there is time. Come on, days are going by. So if you're that kind of person that do not put speed in anything you're doing, please, I beg you, outside from Jamb, you need to imbibe speed in your life. You need it. If you're very stable when you're on high speed, or when I mean speed, I'm not talking about racing a car. I mean giving yourself deadline for something and sticking to it, because that is what speed means in Jamb. Jamb will give you 30 minutes or 1 hour for a question. You need to actually work towards that 1 hour. You need to be urgent. So if you give yourself from now till December, I want to make so and so money, I want to do this, I want to do this. That is good. But then walk backward. Now start walking backward. First of all, set your targets and then walk backward. What do I mean? What are the tiny steps that you need to be able to achieve that? In chemistry, we call it synthesis. If you want to synthesize a big compound, right? In chemistry, you want to synthesize a big compound, you bring the big compound and start dismantling it. You lose the first bolt. As you're losing the first bolt, you're noting where you took it out from. You lose the first screw, you noted what the first thing you removed, you keep it one side. That is how beginners work. But you see experts, right? You see people that will just dismantle engine, couple, scatter engine, throw it one side, Then at the end of the day, they will sit down and couple that same engine. You now that is watching them, you'll be so amazed. You'll be like, is this guy not going to make mistake? Is this guy not going to change the position of this to another? Nope, nope, nope. That is where speed comes in. That is where accuracy comes in. That same person is losing that stuff very fast. He's not looking, but he knows where he's bringing it out from. So please, just note that you need to always set target for yourself. Now, exam source strategy, we're going to be talking about that in the main class. Now, let's proceed. We don't have much time. Now, most of my students, let me just move to, now these are my student results. See, to not be as if I'm just telling you guys a story. Now, this is this particular student. Last year, this was his 2025 Jamb. He said, please, sir, don't post my result because my course mates are on your contact. At the end of this class, a lot of us, I'll save your number on my contact list and I'll create a separate group for those that will join our class. And then I will be taking you like I'll be holding your hand and I'll be guiding you. So you might definitely get to know your course. You might definitely get to know the next persons. So this one said, please, sir, don't post my course. Don't post because my course mates on your contact. I said I will, but I'll block you. Now look at the scores. 325. This young man, as we speak, is doing pharmacy in the University of Port Harcourt currently. Now the next one, this one scored 312. He said, good morning, sir. I just saw my result. Thank you for the labor of love and teaching. We don't just teach you because, we teach in such a way that I don't know if you can, please, if can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay. Now this one's got 312. This one's got, we have 312 here. Okay, let me check if it's the same person. Okay, this, I think it's the same person. Okay. Yeah, it's the same person. It's got 312. This particular one is studying medicine in University of Nigeria, UNN. Now, listen to me. There are two things involved. You can choose to write Jamb alone. You can choose to gamble the Jamb. You can choose to do it. Or you can choose to allow me to hold your hands and walk you through. Right? Yes, you can choose to, but listen to me. If I hold your hands, I'm going to be sharing with you what I have learned in the past 10 years, which you may not definitely get it anywhere. I have been teaching for the past 7 years. I have taught in the university, I've taught secondary school, and I've taught Jamb. All right. So now, I'll be making us an offer, right? So that the group we have, in our WhatsApp group, we have 400 and something. But that, I'm very certain that number, a lot of persons will not join, right? So I want to create, I'm definitely going to be I have a different group already. Exactly. Someone, how can I identify a question that is asked from a particular topic? That is where direction comes in, right? That is where direction comes in. I'm reacting to this question. How can I identify a question that is asked? That is where direction comes in, whereby the task I'll be giving us every day is that, right? For under each topic, I will tell you the different ways question will be asked. So that when I'm teaching you and I don't touch that particular part, you can come back and say, sir, you did not show us this particular one. What if they ask us in this way? That is a strategy. Okay? So now, if I take your hands and guide you, this time around, you're preparing for exams without confusion. It's no longer a case of trial and error, right? I'm showing you the blueprint. I'm walking you through, okay? So it can never be the same where you're doing trial and error. Let me read today, let me not read tomorrow. Now, for those persons that would like to actually continue or that want me to personally take your hands, I forgot to mention I hold a master's. I have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree. No, I don't teach only sciences. I teach science and art, but my colleagues, I have colleagues that handles art, commercial. If you're going for economics, accounting, that's commercial. If you're going for law, humanities, I have a colleague that handles that. But I teach sciences. I study chemistry, right? I have a master's degree in chemistry. Okay, so I teach chemistry, physics, and mathematics. I don't teach biology. I have a colleague that teaches biology. We work as a team. So when you actually sign up for our class, you get to meet all of these people, right? And they will definitely show you how you can smash your Jamb. Yes, I'm not the one teaching arts. I have colleagues that teach arts. Yes, I'm not the, but they are very, very good. They are extremely very good. You can't actually, wait to see them. Okay, so if you actually want to if you want to actually smash your Jamb this year, not just smashing your Jamb, you will have access to me at any time, right? Imagine having access to me. I will hold your hands and I'll walk you through. Oh, class, I'll hold your hands and I'll walk you through. I'll set up a timetable for you. I'll set up a task for you that you're going to be doing every single day on all the subjects you're going to be doing. So that at the end of the day, before you sleep, you submit your task to me. I'm going to be breaking down physics. I'm going to be breaking down chemistry as if you have never learned chemistry before, as if you have never learned physics. For those of us doing arts, government, commerce, mathematics, because the mathematics for science is actually not the same like mathematics for commercial students. So all of this, right, comes with a price. A lot of persons were asking me, is your class free of charge? Of course, my class can never be free of charge because I burn energy, I put in my time, and I use my resources to teach. A worker at least deserves his wages. But one thing I can assure you is that our fee is in such a way that everybody can afford it, right? If you can't afford the full payment at once, there are installment payments. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on TikTok, right? Like I said, I teach in the University of Port Harcourt currently, and I have 2 Jamb centers. So whatever I'm telling you here, you can verify it. If you have a family, if you have a friend in Port Harcourt or Uniport precisely, ask them, do you know anybody that is Delzy? Of course, they'll get to you. So let's finalize this session before our time runs out. So now, when you sign up for our class, what exactly are you going to be getting? Now, number one is a blueprint. Blueprint is basically step-by-step process, step-by-step things you're going to be doing, all right? Step-by-step, every single day, this is what I need to do to get closer to my goal. This is what I do not need to do, right? I'm going to be giving us that. Now, I'll tell you what to read and what to skip. All right? I'll tell you what to read and what to skip. I'll draw up a timetable for you. I'll create a smart reading plan and I'll follow you up weekly. Now, we're almost there. Now, all of this, for those persons that I teach private class, I charge a private class for a course 50,000 naira per month, right? The blueprint is this, 5,000. The past question is 5,000. But this is not what you're paying for this class. I understand the economy is not smiling, so we make it in such a way that everybody can afford it. So what we are going to be charging for this is 15,000 naira till you write your Jamb. Now, but the good news is that you do not have to pay all of them at once. Yes, you do not have to pay all of them at once. You can actually make the first payment of 7,000. And at the end of the day, maybe as we progress, you make your balance. And let me tell you this, you can actually request for a refund if what we are giving to you is actually not what you expected. Yes. So it's not a case of once you make your payment, oh, my money is gone. Nope. I'm not just doing Jamb class because I feel like doing it. If you check my TikTok page, if you check my YouTube channel, you're going to see that this is somebody that has been teaching for years. And I want to help you guys to smash your Jamb. Right? So I'm charging just 15,000 naira till you write your Jamb examination. So if you make a payment of 15,000 naira, from now till you write the day you write your Jamb, we're going to be learning every night by 8 p.m. till the day you write your Jamb. Every single night from now till you write your Jamb. However, if you do not have the 15,000 to pay completely, you can make instrumental payments from 7,000. You can pay for a month. A month is 7,500, right? You can pay for a month. Now, we are taking 2 months and we are giving you guys bonus. You're just paying for 2 months and the rest is bonus. If maybe if Jamb should exceed April, I'll let us know. But I know that Jamb is starting 3rd week of April. So if you make payments now, right, 2 months is 15,000 naira, and we are taking that till you write your Jamb. Okay? Now, that you can pay 7,000 now and balance later, or you can just make 13,000. This is actually what we call fast action bonus. I want to see those persons that maybe that can take action fast. So instead of paying 15,000 naira till you write Jamb, you can pay 13,000 naira from now till you write your Jamb. Okay? So if you want to join our class, right? If you want me to mentor you, not just reading, not just passing, let me take your hands and walk you through. It's very simple. The account details is displayed on the screen. You can take a screenshot of that because any moment from now, I'll actually remove it. Take a screenshot of the account details. We can see that is our company's account. Like I said, my name is Delzy. So that is a company's account, Delzy Scholars Limited. Right? It's a Zenith Bank account. Now, make a payment. That is my phone number there. After your payment, please send me your proof of payment to that WhatsApp number. Then I will add you to our paid platform. And class commence immediately. All right? So that is basically all we have for today. Okay? So this amount is actually cannot be compared to what I'm going to be giving to us. I'm seeing somebody saying, Omo, your monthly data for 2 months, if you are being very sincere to yourself, exceeds this. The stress of writing Jamb, registering for Jamb, all those stress, do you still want to do it again? Or you want to do it right for the very last time? Do you think that people that actually goes to Polytechnic, College of Education, do you think they like it? Some of them end up going to poly is not bad, but if you notice this, there are people that got tired of writing Jamb, right? They got tired of writing Jamb, so they now change their direction in life. They now change their direction because they could not get admission. I don't want that to be you, right? It's very, very expensive. The price is the mistake is costly, so you cannot afford to make that mistake. Okay, so the payment will be on trial this week. Once you make our class is commencing tomorrow. So anybody that makes payment between now and tomorrow, you can join, because I'm going to be starting class for you guys tomorrow. So if you make payment this night or tomorrow, you can still make payment within the week. That is why it says screenshot the account details. But I can only add you to our paid group. All right. But tomorrow, I might do a free class for everybody, so you can still attend our free class tomorrow where I'm going to be teaching chemistry. But for you to get our blueprint, for you to get our daily task, for you to get your timetable, for you to get your reading plan, that can only be done or sent on the paid group. However, you can actually join the free class tomorrow because the link will be posted on our platform. The class tomorrow is by 8:30. I'll post the link on the platform. Okay? So, if you have any question, please, you can drop it here or you can actually drop it on my DM. The phone number on the screen is my phone number. Okay, I really look forward to helping you guys to smash this jam. Now, the amount is till you write your jam. The for 1 month is 7,500. A month is 7,500. Okay, a month is 7,500. From now till jam, jam is April ending. From now till you write your jam is 15,000 naira. Okay, if you want to pay for 1 month, is divide 15,000 by 2. Okay, somebody say, can I pay this weekend? Yes, you can actually, but just that I will not add you until your payment is made, which means you're going to be missing out first. But I can still, resend those things back to you when you join the class. Please, I'll really encourage you not to miss out on this class. Okay, I'll really encourage you guys. So I'll stop here for today. Take a screenshot of the account payment, is on the screen. Once you make your payment, send me a message and I'll add you up to our platform where you can start learning immediately. Our class starts tomorrow by 8:30 p.m. So see you guys tomorrow. Please, any question? Okay, please, to be very certain that at least you guys heard what I said, can you just type? Can you hear me? To be very certain, at least you can hear me or you heard what I said, can you just type, good night, sir? Okay, no? Just type, I can hear you, sir. Just type, I can hear you, sir, so that I can actually know you can hear me, so I could end the class. Please type, you can hear me on the chat box. Okay, then. All right, so we'll end here for today. You have a problem with biology and physics? Welcome, welcome, we're going to help you out. We're not just going to help you out. At the end of the day, right, you're going to become, a master in this particular course, so that when you get to the university, the confidence continues. Whatever we are giving to you is something that is transferable. That is why when people, if you have a good Jamb teacher, it makes the university 100 level to be very easy for you, because most of the things you're going to be doing in 100 level is what you did in Jamb. So if you do very well in Jamb, year one becomes a bit easy for you. All right, so if you actually take your Jamb very serious, it means you're using one stone to kill two birds. All right, so I'll stop here for today. So if you want to join our class, please make a payment and join the class. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow.